Ladies and gentlemen, on the 7th of March 2025, Magnus Carlsen played Simon Agustin. Now, if you don't know who that is one of his first coaches, an absolutely incredible chess player. I mean, you can see the ratings on your screen. I'm not going to patronise you and lecture you on how good this man is. You can see his rating. It's like 8 times all of our combined rating, okay? Mine and everyone watching this video. Magnus Carlsen played his former teacher, okay? It's always going to be interesting, like, how did Magnus get so good at chess? Like, who taught him how to play chess this good? Well, Simon Agustin, okay? He's renowned for playing the move d4, okay? This is no exception. He plays d4, we get knight f6, c4, e6, Bishop f3? Really, Max? I mean, I'm not sure the bishop can get there in one move in the opening, but, you know, we move. Knight f3, and then we get d5, and we're kind of in, like, a Queen's Gambit decline type position, where white has pushed both the d and c pawns. Magnus has this sort of setup with the pawns on e6 and d5, but there's been no trade just yet, so we're in a sort of Queen's Gambit decline position, so naturally, Simon just promotes his knight to c3, and by the way, every time I say Simon, I know one of you smirking, okay? It's sad, okay? Come on, guys. Heads out the gutter. Let's think of a better joke here. We get knight to d7, and now, who was it? I think it might have been David Howe who did a commentary on this game, and he said that early on, Magnus just wanted to confuse his former coach, okay? He just wanted him to get out of some sort of prep, and so he's not going to play the most common of moves, which, I don't know, maybe bishop to b4, maybe bishop e7, sorry, I can't draw arrows, but basically you want to look to castle early on. But no, Magnus plays this knight to d7 move, and it's fair to say, Simon invests about 8 minutes of time. Then they get this trade in the centre, so it's obviously a classical game of chess. You can see the clocks, they still have like an hour and a half each. They're good for time, okay? We get bishop to f4 on this beautiful open diagonal, so maybe trying to, I don't know, have some sort of threat on this c7 square at some stage. We get knight to b6, and then we get this move queen to c2. Now, Hikaru Nakamura has also done a commentary on this game. Okay, he recaps all of Magnus's games. I mean, as do I, really. So, you know, no shade there, Hikaru. Love you, sir. And he said that this move, Queen to C2, was a bit of an unusual approach. Okay, he wasn't quite sure on it. The most natural-looking move here, I guess, is E3, just opening up your bishop at some stage. But obviously Simon plays this move, Queen to C2. We get Knight H5 now. If I were to play this, Stockfish would call me an absolute moron. I mean, Stockfish does have this as an inaccuracy, but, like, who do you think you are telling Magnus Carlsen that his move is inaccurate? Like, I'm not going to be the one to do it. Like, Stockfish, you go ahead. Me, personally, though, I'm going to say fair play, great move. Just targets the dark squared bishop. Simon obviously doesn't want to trade it off, so moves his bishop to e5. Beautifully outposted by the d4 pawns. They obviously protect each other in the centre of the board. We then get f6, just looking to immediately get this bishop out of here. Like, just as quickly as possible. Like, the bishop moves in, the pawn says, hey, you haven't paid your rent in the first 55 seconds, so please get out of here. How long did Magnus spend on this move? About 6 minutes. So, you know, maybe 6 minutes, hadn't paid the rent and said, get the hell out of here. We get c6, reinforcing the pawn on d5. And you'll notice now it's very tricky for this knight to really sort of make any forward progress. I mean, like, everything is just defended now. So it's a real solid setup from Magnus. We then get e3. Also worth noting, guys, Magnus's rating at the time of this game, obviously like 300 higher, like 250 higher. So even a draw would mean that he would lose rating. So Magnus with the black pieces here really needs to play for a win, because even a draw would significantly drop his rating. Like, how do I put this in terms you guys are going to understand? So I sit at around 1200, okay? If I play a 1500 and get a draw, I'm going to gain like 2 to 4 elo, okay? Whereas that guy, he's losing elo, okay? So Magnus really needs to win this game. Bishop e6, just completely securing the centre of the board. Bishop d3, setting up a nice battery on this square if Magnus was to ever castle into this. Well, that would be uh-oh spaghetti-o, as Hikaru likes to say. So g6 prevents any sort of threat there. A3. Now, do I have any explanation for this move at all? Not really, other than Hikaru says this is like the first sort of step in the wrong direction. after the move knight to d2. So you can see it's got this funky looking question mark and all this jazz. Hikaru Nakamura says this is the first step in the wrong direction, as Seaman sort of looks to, I guess, switch his attack towards this queen side of the board. I'll just draw some arrows to highlight the queen side of the board for you guys, you know, the side that has the queen on, because initially the knight being over here, I don't know what your expansion was. You sort of was aiming everything over here. Now you're looking to reroute things over to the queen side and try win the game over here. Hikaru wasn't a fan of it. Me personally, I know nothing. Okay, so I don't know if I'm a big fan. We get short castles out of Magnus. Knight to b3. So again, continuing this attack over here on the queen side of the board. The knight drops back. I don't know. Maybe preparing some expansion ideas of like b6 and c5. That's all I can really see, but potentially not. We get knight a4, sorry, and then we finally get a trade here. Now, if this were me, this would look absolutely terrifying. Like, all of this is currently open, so it looks absolutely terrifying, doesn't it? It's the open H file, man. But it just doesn't matter, because Magnus just sort of drops his bishop back and says, there is no attack here, you have no threat. Seaman now realising the attack needs to be on the king's side of the board, so plays g4, looking to expand. I just spat on my microphone. I'm very sorry if anyone saw that. a5, knight jumps forward. We get rook to b8, looking to expand up this queen side of the board, maybe kick some knights away. The bishop slides back to e2. We get knight takes on c5, pawn obviously takes back. I mean, either way, if you take here, does it prefer this? No, because of the move b6, you're just instantly kicked back. So yeah, take with the pawn. Bishop goes to e6, and then we get long castles out of Mr. Agdestein. And then, oh, okay, so the engine here, what does it want? Does it want queen e8? Did I draw that arrow? I don't know. I kind of just looked back and it was there. I guess the engine does actually want queen e8. Yeah, the engine really wants queen e8, actually. Why does it want queen e8? And then, like, rook h2. That's strange, but we don't get that. We get this move f5, which I guess is kind of opening up your dark squared bishop. I mean, this does look quite threatening. You sort of close off this position here, but if this trade were to happen, I feel like this really suits Magnus. Like, you just have the bishop pair absolutely scoping down your opponent. That would be terrifying. So we get f5. We get this move bishop to d3. We get queen to c7. And then f4. So, oh my god. Seaman really just trying to fly down the board and attack Magnus's kingside. Brings a rook over. Oh, this doesn't look very good at all, does it? This doesn't look very good at all. What is the threat here? I really don't know what the threat is. I don't know. Maybe you're looking to get double stacked. And then, like, obviously this pawn can't move forwards. But what do you do after rook f7? And that is what's played. So rook f7 is played. We get double stacked. Bishop f8 will just kick the rook back. Yeah, I don't see what the threat there was. Oh my god, this move d4. So currently all of Magnus's pieces, right, are blocked in. But this pawn sacrifice, and I think it is only a temporary sacrifice. I mean, this pawn should be relatively easy to win back. Just unlocks everything in the position. Like, the e file is now open. The bishop can go over here. But we get queen to d7. And then we get this move g4, literally just lashing out. So Magnus is about +1 now in this position. So yeah, immediately winning the pawn back. And now everything is open for Magnus. Gives a check, plays rook to d8. I mean, look at this pin. This is nasty. This is absolutely nasty. We then get the move. Okay, rook drops back. Okay, can you double stack the rook? You double stack the rooks. Wow, this is gorgeous. This is an absolute clinic. See, this is what I mean. All it takes is like the slightest inaccuracy, and Magnus is there. He's like I don't know the analogy. What would be a good analogy? I don't know. I got no idea. It's like McGregor and Jose Aldo. Like, he's in his head now. Like, the slightest thing goes wrong, he's gonna be there to just absolutely spark you out. We get queen takes on d3. Picks up a pawn on e6, queen trade, threatening the knight. Picks up a pawn as well. Wow, this is just a clinic. Why can't you just take here? I guess if you take, then it's check. You have to go this way. And then, would it go rook h7? No, rook to g5. Wow, okay, see, what the hell do I know? We get h6, check. Knight has to block, check. Oh my god, that's so nice. The rook comes back to d7 to stop any sort of attack here, because this would stop the king from being able to get to the defense of this pawn, and you're threatening a lot, I feel like. So the rook comes back to stop any sort of shenanigans on the 7th rank. We get bishop takes on c5. Again, Magnus just up a pawn here. It's going to be very tricky. Gives a check, picks up a rook. I mean, you know Magnus, he's going to whittle it down to an end game. Oh, and the game is over. The game is over. Can you guys tell that I haven't seen this game yet? We got rook f3, bishop d4, and it's... Oh, wow. So the h pawn is just going to go promote, and white's knight is literally trapped. There is nowhere for this knight to go. The h pawn is just going to fly up the board. It's literally a rook against a rook, a bishop, 2 pawns. A 3rd pawn that's likely going to promote. This knight is going nowhere. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I know that from a young age, Magnus actually lost to Seaman in, like, I want to say 2 Norway tournaments, and it came down to tiebreakers, but since then he's just been absolutely cooking this fool, for lack of a better phrase. I mean, cooking this icon of the chess world, I should say. I mean, anyone that can put their name to claiming that they have trained Magnus Carlsen, I mean, I bow down and salute you, sir. So Magnus picks up the win against his former master. I mean, what a passing of the torch moment. I mean, imagine that. I mean, my chess coach could be like 1500 and still be significantly better than me, and I would probably never beat them. So this is like really, really iconic. But guys, if you enjoyed this game review, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, comment some other games you want to see me go over. I mean, I don't really have much insight to drop, but I can certainly react to them, and it's quite funny and entertaining. We upload daily chess videos on this channel, so if you are new, be sure to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.